Everybody, I'm Matt Lorenzo. I am the teen librarian at Cupertino Library, and I'm here today to talk to you about the library's Teen Hackathon, CU Hacks. Let me get on the right page first. All right. So, what the hack? What is this hacking thing all about here? I'm willing to bet that every single person in this room has heard the term hack or hacker, hacking, hackathon at some point in the not too distant past. Living in the digital age, it's quite common to hear these news stories of these cyber criminals or the bad hackers who basically go from different networks looking for weak points in a computer security system. And once they find the weak points, they proceed to break into them. They go on to steal, they alter, and in some cases, they destroy the information. Even in pop culture and movies today, there's always a cyber geek in the criminal ring who knows how to hack the mainframes or the online casinos. So it's quite obvious that the term hack can cause some concern in people, as it did for my anonymous relative down there at the bottom. She became even more concerned once she found out that her son was going to be holding a hackathon for 150 teenagers in the library. So, before I became familiar with the programming culture and whatnot, whenever I heard the term hackathon, my mind quickly conjured up these images of these hooded people sitting in these darkly lit rooms, conjuring up different ways of breaking into my laptop and stealing my bank account information and my retirement account, and even worse, my identity, if you really wanted that. But, what I really came to find out after doing a lot of research is that hackathons are completely the opposite. They're not damaging, they're not illegal, they're not detrimental to other people. They are, in fact, quite the opposite. A hackathon, folks, simply is an event lasting anywhere from 12 to 48 hours in which programmers, coders, developers, engineers, techies, geeks, just people passionate with some new innovative ideas. They all come together in a very highly energetic environment and they problem solve together. They create new applications. And in the hackathon world, that's what the hack is the finished product. So they work for a period of time and they create new cool things that goes towards helping other people most times. And along with every single hackathon are the incentives. These can range anywhere from money to trophies and prestige to full-on internships, which is a great reason to partner up with some of these startup companies that Cheryl was mentioning before. This is what keeps people up for 48 hours. So, why did we end up having a hackathon in a public library system? How did this all come to be? So, about a year and a half ago, I was reading down Santa Cruz. Do we have Santa Cruz people here? All right. So I was reading in a newspaper over there about a hackathon held here in the Bay Area, and what really stood out to me in this article was the way that this event brought so many people from different walks of life together to create new cool things that went towards helping other people. And I started to see that there were a lot of overlapping values and core ideals that these events had with public library services. So I started to get the wheels cranking and started to think, how can we make this happen in my library? But before I went to my supervisor and said, hey, let's go shut down the library for 48 hours and let the kids in, I had to get some honest feedback to see whether an event like this would actually be relevant to my teens. And there is one place where I take my ideas to get honest, straight up feedback, and that would be from my teen advisory board. These are the kids that help steer and guide my teen programming in the Cupertino community. And I had to do a lot of research and a lot of background digging on what these events were all about and how we could actually get it done here at my library. So going into the meeting where I was going to say, hey guys, do you think this would be cool or not? Do you think the kids would come to it or whatnot? I was giving myself pretty much about a 95% chance of being called completely insane, and would be far from the first time that I would receive that as my feedback from these kids. But thankfully, they really gravitated. They really caught on to the idea, and they just loved the idea that we were bringing kids in from different high schools all around the Bay Area, in the Cupertino community specifically, to work together, collaborate, and do some really cool things. So once we got the tab on board, we really started getting the details down. We knew we were going to have it in the library, but what I want to point out here on this slide is that we wanted to kick off summer reading with an event like this. And I'm very happy to say we had 143 teenagers between the participants and the mentors that came in, and we signed up 143 teenagers for summer reading. This is a slide detailing what happens over the course of 18 hours here. My supervisors and I had to work at length trying to get a lot crammed into a little amount of time. You might be thinking, sure, 18 hours, that's plenty of time to do something like this. But when you're dealing with 150 highly caffeinated teenagers, 18 hours goes by very quickly. So we really tried to structure it to keep it moving and keep it engaging. The Library Foundation for my library played a huge part in helping support the funding for the event. They help provide things like the snacks, the drinks, a lot of the pizza, as well as the prizes. So depending on what you do at your libraries, whenever you go on to have your hackathon, you can really help cut down the costs just by simply reaching out into the different businesses in your community. The startups are chomping at the bit to partner up with libraries and things like this. So there's a lot of ways for you to cut down the expenses on this and not take a big ding to the old budgets. Our staff played a crucial part to this. Without them, it just wouldn't have happened. People pictured up there are my supervisors. That's Rosalind, Gayatri, Amitha, and Claire Veracio. These are my supervisors who really help provide the structure to this event. And I'm very, very thankful to the 27 other staff members that came throughout the entire county to help supervise and help us run this event. And without them, it wasn't going to happen. Community partnerships is a great thing for hackathons. As I was just saying, cut down your costs, but you're also able to team up with a lot of different restaurants, a lot of different grocery stores in your area. Once you get the publicity out to them and tell them what you're trying to do, that you're engaging this new form of technology, programming and whatnot in libraries, they become their hearts open. And they become much more apt to donating towards your event. And of course, you give them very nice PR in return. These are our tech supporters. These people were so generous. They donated a ton of swag that the kids got to take home with them during the event. These are the companies that help support us. They wanted to send experienced coders and mentors out, but sadly, because this was a teen event and it was overnight, we didn't have the time to get through all the liability background checks for everybody, so we weren't able to have the mentors come out, but hopefully we're gonna rearrange that in the future here. But just so you know, the startups and the different tech companies here around the Bay Area want to be involved. And a lot of times, it's just a matter that they don't have space to have an event like a hackathon in it, but public libraries, we do, in many cases. These are our awesome judges here. These people gave up their Sunday to come down to the library. They got there at 5 a.m. and they judged a total of 31 working applications, and they were phenomenal. This is an overview of the CU Hacks rules. Aside from the liability issues there, what I want to point out is the fourth one down. We really tried to stress to the kids, you're getting 12 hours to work in teams of between 1 and 4 people. You have these 12 hours to go create, to go learn, to go meet new people, and to really build something new to help other people. The other thing is that they were also required to put together a 90-second film demoing their app. So as long as their app was working, they could demo it live, and that's what our judges would score each entry on. This is the prompt. This is a crucial part in helping give direction to our hackathon. The tab and I went round and round. Should we have a prompt? Should we not? Should we let the teens go create whatever they want, or should we give them some direction? Ultimately, we wanted our teen coders, our teen hackers to come into this hackathon and build something that would ultimately lead back towards helping other teenagers. So as long as the hackers came in and addressed the prompt, they would be able to enter into one of these 4 categories, and each one of these 4 categories had a different prize package that went along with it. The one thing that I do want to point out with the prompt, I threw a big curveball at the kids in that I did not release the prompt until the very, very start of the event. This helped cut down pre-coding or doing work ahead of time, and it also helped level the playing field because the kids come with varying levels of coding experience. Each project was judged on the following criteria: its originality, technical difficulty, potential positive impact on another teenager, and the user experience. Instructional workshops are by far one of the coolest part of any hackathon. Because I wasn't able to bring people in from the startup companies, the mentors from there, what I did is I reached out to the local high schools in my area and contacted the academic clubs. Coding clubs are now being held all over different libraries. These kids go back to their schools and they form their own coding clubs there. A lot of times they have a teacher to help facilitate it, and it just grows. So we were very fortunate to get 2 groups here. The Teenovation, they did iOS and web development, and we had the Homestead High School robotics team come in to help with the kids working on hardware projects. The final pitches. So not only did I keep these kids up the entire night, but if you were part of the top 2 teams in each category, then we made you go out on stage in front of the entire audience and sell your project to our judges in the matter of 2 minutes. And depending on which presentation out of each category was the best, that determined our winners. And speaking of winners, this is our best beginner hack. This is from a team called Refresh. They built this awesome website to help teens who get stressed out. If a teen's experiencing stress, they just go on the Refresh website. They say, yes, I'm having trouble with mom and dad, or it's my boyfriend that's bothering me, or it's school or college, whatever. They select the type of stress they're experiencing, and they'll be provided with healthy alternatives and relaxation techniques, anywhere from walking the dog to listening to relaxing music to different yoga methods to breathing exercises. Very cool for a beginner group. This one blew me away. This is Night Owl. This is our educational hack winner. So this is the kids' answer to getting other teenagers not to drink caffeine and Red Bull when it's 2 in the morning and you're cramming for a test, okay? So with the Night Owl app, you open it up and you create a to-do list and you speak it into your phone. You then attach the phone onto your arm with an armband, okay? The app monitors whether your arm has moved under a certain amount of time, and if it hasn't, it sets off warning bells and a buzzer, thinking that you have fallen asleep. It will require you to stand up and speak back into the phone your to-do list, and only until that happens will it shut down the alarms. This is our game hack. This is a really cool take on the classic game Concentration, only this one's gonna help you prepare for your SATs, where you can enter in different arithmetic and SAT preparation mathematics questions. This is Spot. This is our social hack. This one was really cool because it had a lot of different levels to it. So I have the Spot app open. I'm at SFPL main, and I want to see who else is in the vicinity. I'm using the Spot app. It sends out notification to every one of my contacts lists. It registers me here at SFPL and says, hey, who wants to hang out? It also has the text features over there on the right-hand side as well. It's really cool. So several weeks after the actual hackathon event, we had an awards celebration, and it was a great time for the top winning teams and the runners-up to come back and present what they did during the hackathon to the community, as well as to their parents. And the gentleman down there in the lower left, that is the mayor of Cupertino. It was a really cool event. We had over 100 people. And these are our results. The 576 cans of soda always strikes people as quite high, but yeah. You know what? Out of all of these numbers, the thing I'm most proud of with this event is the fact that 31 working applications came out of this 12 hours that they had. And these are applications that were built by teenagers, for teenagers, and went towards helping give quality and add quality to the life, health, and future of other teenagers. It was really cool. I'm going to give my contact information right here, and I have a short video. So if you have any questions about hackathons or how to hold one in your library, please do get in contact with me. They're not big, scary. They're actually totally fun, and it's a great way to partner up with different startup companies, engage your community partnerships, and really have a lot of fun, whether you hold it for kids, teens, or adults in your library. So I'm going to jump over to the video, and this is about a year's worth of work wrapped into 4 minutes.
You ready to get this started, Cupertino, or what? Huh?
Thanks, everybody.